Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I have an upload that really blew my mind, and I'm the one that put it together. Before we get into it, a couple links. As many of you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon. And folks, please leave a comment and share this video. Why? Well, because all these things really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And folks, they really do matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into today's upload, shall we? All right, guys, so today's upload is going to be broken into two parts. The first part is going to be some very interesting and what I believe to be undeniable video and audible proof of the strangeness that is in the Adirondacks. I have caught multiple things. I scanned through a bunch of my videos where Tom Messick disappeared, and I put together a compiled amount of videos that clearly show cryptid activity, clearly show portal activity, and some other very strange, unidentified, anomalous activity. Apologize for the fireworks going off. It is roughly 1 a.m. on the 5th of July. So, but this evidence to me is undeniable. I can't deny it. I've showed other people, and the people that I showed or have shown, one is a professor at our local college here who teaches photography and videography, etc. He said, wow, this is, to me, undeniable proof of some sort of strangeness that is up there. So let's get into it. I have seen other videos, obviously shared other videos on this channel. Kirk Stokes, Paul Chafin, Scott Carpenter's amazing clip. To me, mine is right up there. And I'm not boosting. I'm not saying like I'm something important. I was just in the right place at the right time. And to me, it's undeniable. I want you guys to look at all of this and tell me what you think. All right, so we're coming up to it. 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 All right, guys, we're back in Horicon, New York, where Tom Messick disappeared. One of my favorite places, actually, to be. Even though I had a scare just the last time I was here. But there seems to be some noise today, and I'm going to be going up this trail just to kind of spend some time here, see if we can catch anything. Hopefully we don't, but I'll spin the camera around so you guys can see whereabouts I'm at, and just talk a little bit, and then we'll get to a spot, and I got some encounters to share with you guys. Hang on one second. All right, so the camera is spun around, and that is what is in front of me. That is what is aside of me. It's funny, last time I was here, I read in the comment section, a guy's like, there's a bunch of trees that are cut down. There are no trees that are cut down. This is broken limbs, broken trees. But you can't make everyone happy, right? I guess that's the thing. That's pretty cool. But I am glad that there is some noise today. Most definitely. So, find a location and kind of, like, I'm flat. That's the incline. And it is beautiful out. It's not humid. Absolutely gorgeous today. There's the trail that I came down through. Absolutely gorgeous here. So, last time I was here, I caught something running across the trails. I don't know what that was. It scared me pretty badly. Whew. Getting winded here. Absolutely gorgeous. Just a beautiful location. It did kind of silence out though, a little bit. But, oh well. Let's set up, and like, that's the mountain right here. I'm on the mountain. All right. I just want to kind of give a look-see. I don't see anything around me, but we'll set up and narrate a couple encounters and just take a walk. How's that sound, guys? All right, guys, today's first subscriber submitted experience is from a former Marine. I guess once you're a Marine, you're never not a Marine. Which is I've always thought that was really cool, you know, because you have then dedicated your life to that division of service, you know. Really cool. So Anyway, Jeff, I'm 53 years old. When I was 18, I joined the Marine Reserve straight out of high school. Combat engineer and bulk fuel specialist. Deployed in the first Gulf War, and now a disabled veteran. My dad was a two-tour Vietnam vet with the 101st Airborne Rangers, 20-year veteran. I grew up fishing very young. My dad and I used to go hard to get to the fishing spots. I was about 7 years old. In Yakima, Washington, my dad was stationed there for a few years. We'd gone fishing at our favorite spot. My dad had gone around the lake and I stayed near the car. Holy fuck, guys, we're out of here. We're out of here. What the fuck was that? Wow, I'm back at my car. There's nobody here. Dude, that was beyond, like, I'm shaking. It just took me at least 10 minutes to run down that mountain. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you where everything went by. So, there's nobody at this parking spot. Nobody. That's my car. Whatever knocked that tree down was up in here somewhere. I don't care if anyone calls me a coward, man. I saw something. I don't know what that was, but you guys saw me. I was narrating that. I'm not going back up there today. I'm going home. My chest hurts. That was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever been that scared. That was more scary than what occurred the other day when I caught whatever ran across the trail. I don't know if you guys can see right there. There's that orange tag on that one tree. Those are tags that they use to grid this area off to search for Tom Messick. Holy cow. I've only been here for 20 minutes. Alright, I'm sorry guys, I can't stay here today. I am just way beyond freaked out. And now, it was silent for a few minutes though, if you think about it, while I was narrating. And now, once that happened, now you hear a bird. But I'm also about 1/8 of a mile away. Alright guys, we are in upstate New York in the Adirondacks. Snow is on the ground. In today's video, I said I would be doing the shofar from where Tom Messick disappeared. And that's where we are. Never been here this late in the year. I'll spin the camera around so you guys can check it out. It's pretty cold. It's 31, I think. And just real quiet. So I'll turn the camera around so you guys can see everything. Alright, so as you can see, we had a snowfall on was it Tuesday? We got 6 inches of snow. But then it was 40 Wednesday and Thursday. What the hell's that noise? You guys hear that? It's coming from that way. Hang on. There's a noise coming from that way. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's this weird, honestly, metallic sound. I don't know what it is. Not a clue. Kind of want to stay here for a second and see if we can hear it again. Did you hear it? What the hell is that? I hope my mic can pick that up. Dude, it's dead quiet here. Something's up here with me. I can tell, and I'm not making shit up. It's coming from that way. I don't know if we can hear it. Hear it? What the hell is that? I'm gonna go up a little and see. Whoa. Yeah, it's slick. There's some kind of noise over here on this side of me. I'm pretty sketched out because of that. I've never heard anything like that. There it is again. What the hell? I hope my mic is picking this up. Here's where, right here's our rocks where we were sitting. This is the location that I set that trail cam up. You hear it? It almost sounds like that's not a tree moving in the wind. That's like a metallic. I almost don't want to blow the shofar here. But you know what? I said I would do it. And I do what I say I'm going to do. So, there it is. And it's got like this faint. Alright, I'm going to get the shofar out. Blow it. We'll hang out for a few minutes and then I'm out of here. I do not like being here right now. It is cold. Cannot believe I said I was doing this today. There it is. There's that noise again. Okay, so this is a shofar. That right there was a tree. Whatever is over there, I don't know what the hell is. I really hope nothing comes and just attacks me. Alright, here we go. Dude, the wind stopped. Literally, the wind stopped. No wind. How weird is that? Dude, that is crazy. It's actually 28 degrees now. Whew. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Just dead silence. Wish it was warmer today. Kind of do a pan around. Behind me is, there it is, that noise again. I really hope my mic picks that up. I'm about 20 minutes from my car. I don't know. I think it's just time to leave. I wanted to... Dude, it went dead quiet. There's that noise again. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. That's not a tree. We know what trees sound like. Trees don't sound like a metallic sound. I'm gonna get the out of here right now. I'll talk to you guys later. Look at that. That's interesting. That's, my hand is extended. I'm 6 foot. My arm would put me at 7 foot. That thing is 8 foot and bent. That's where I want to go, up in here. A woodpecker in there. Hear him? So this is where I was. I'm walking just like I am now. I stop and I look and I'm like, let's go this way. And I do. And I mean, this is not, there's no trail here. Why did I get pushed this way? Woodpecker's still right up in there. All right, let's do this, guys. As long as I can hear that woodpecker, I feel like I'm safe. But there's no trail. I don't think the rattler snakes will be out this time of year either. This wall freaks me out too. There he is. Oh, look how big he is. Hang on. See him? There's that woodpecker. He's a big guy. Wow. Huh. That's so cool. Get to a different vantage point. Okay, I hiked a little bit more through the woods, but these are the 3 rocks that I found one day. And to be honest, there is a side-by-side out on the trails down that way. A ranger, maybe. I don't know. Hear that woodpecker though? He's going top notch. See if I can find him again. Can hear him. Can't see him. Time is it? 2:15. Alright, so this is what I wanted to do. I've checked this area with a magnet before. I want to use the dowsing rods here. Okay, so we got an airplane overhead and our little woodpecker friend. Alright. Is there any kind of entity here at all? Anything. Cross these things. Cross the rods. Wow. I thought for sure they'd work up here. Holy shit. Are you an old spirit? Open these up if you are Tom Messick. Open them up if you're a Native American that lived in the Adirondacks. don't know if I want to do that up here. I know this has a weird feeling up here. I'm a little nervous about being here right now. So and I know our little buddy over here is pecking away, but I'd rather be on the trail than up here during the eclipse. So I think what we'll do is we'll head out and head down and head back up on the trails. How's that sound? Whew. Behind you guys, right where the camera is set up, there's a just a rock outcropping. I think I found a pretty good spot to set up while the eclipse happens. I had to check on my daughter in a minute. Call her and see if she's okay. Here we go. What the fuck was that? Guys, I don't know what that was. Did you hear it? Something responded. Those are all woods back there. It's all woods. Deep back there. Something fucking responded. It's calling. What the fuck is it? I'm gonna blow it again. It sounds like it's getting closer or further away, maybe, I don't know. Hang on. Let's see. A plane overhead. I don't know, whatever it was, it communicated with us twice. And actually, where it sounded like it was coming from was it's getting further away. I just heard it. It's going further into the mountains. What the fuck was that? That last part of the video was the day of the eclipse. When I shared that, a few people were like, that's an owl. That's not an owl. I compared them to the 5 owls that live in New York State. I shared the video actually with a DEC, Department of Conservation, with a park ranger from the Cornell Cooperative, which is in Warrensburg, New York in the Adirondacks. probably 20 minutes from where Tom Messick disappeared. And he said, I'm not even sure what that is. That is not an owl. I said, well, you know, people on YouTube think it is. He said, you know, regardless if I tell them it's not or you tell them it's not, there's always going to be people that say it is. And that's just how it is. But definitely some very strange things. The first thing I ever caught there was whatever that was that came off that mountain, hit that trail, was quadruped when it hit that trail. And then, or actually it was bipedal when it hit the trail, dropped to quadruped, and then went down that other side of the embankment. I literally turned around. You can see it in the video. I saw it and I was like, right around. The next thing, I'm sitting on some rocks, minding my own business, sharing experiences with you all. All of a sudden, this thing blasts through these trees. I don't even know where it came from because there was no noise prior to it. There was nothing. As I'm hauling ass down that trail, and yeah, I was hauling ass because, one, I'm by myself. Two, I'm thinking of my daughter. I turn over my shoulder and I see just this kind of blur going up into the woods. And where it was heading to would be to those 3 stacked rocks. Those 3 stacked rocks I seldom talk about. I don't like talking about them because I myself would even say, oh, you stacked them. You know, or I might not say it, but I might think it. But I didn't. That whole area in that one spot where those trees are, every single tree is straight. And then you've got trees that bend this way. And then they go straight again. And then there's those curved archways. That branch that's snapped 7.5 feet in the air. In those archways, they are twisted in together. I, for some reason, turned one day. I don't know why. I just did. And I started going up this embankment. There was no trail. As I'm going up it, you can see in the video, I'd been there multiple times before, where that woodpecker was. There's that huge kind of rock wall with a bunch of little caves in there. And then I find these one boulder in the ground, rock stacked. No idea what it is. I've put a magnet on it. I've used my EMF reader on it. Brought the dowsing rods. There is something mighty powerful in that area. I believe it is a portal. I believe that what happened to Tom is, you know, because people speculate that they would have found his hat. They would have found his gun. They would have found his walkie. Maybe he wandered off. One, he taught survival skills. So regardless, he would have known to sit. He had a rifle. He had a walkie. Why didn't he shoot? Why didn't he radio to somebody? They never found his hat. They never found his gloves. Nothing. I think what happened was a portal opened and whatever came out of that portal may have grabbed him. It may have even been our government that did it just to do it. Maybe that's, I've talked about this a couple different times within the last couple of days because this really irked me. There's a channel out there, a lot of subscribers, and, you know, unfortunately, based off people on YouTube or people who watch YouTube, based off of the amount of subscribers you have, it is looked at like you know more than smaller channels or, you know, anyone, which is not true. It just means you're more entertaining and you've been doing it longer. But there was never a escaped prisoner in the Adirondacks when Tom Messick disappeared. That's complete horse shit. lie, muddied the waters, really irks me really bad. The FBI was there for no apparent reason. No one knows. Tom was not a tender-aged youth. There was no state lines crossed. Even if there was a prisoner that escaped, the feds wouldn't come. We've had a couple of different escapes up in Denimora and such. Feds weren't there. State troopers rounded them up within a couple days, and boom, no feds. So, and that really irks me because, you know, David Paulides really puts his heart and soul into these 411s. And regardless of how you look at other people or how you may look at researchers, yada, yada, I've never met the man. So I don't know him personally. I don't watch his videos, but I know that he did a lot of good for that community. And I think by making something up by saying there was a prisoner escape really hurts his work that he has done for years. He's dedicated his life to the 411. If the FBI, in my own view, they weren't there for anything but clean up or to put a lid on something. They knew something happened. They knew possibly what came out of the portals. You know, there's stories of portals opening up near Skinwalker Ranch and a military spec op team coming out hunting Dogman, hunting Bigfoot, hunting whatever. Maybe, I don't know. But it's a strange case. And to me, that half an hour, 35 minutes of video, to me is clearly evidence that something very strange is going on Lily Pond Road. I've obviously done a lot of other research in this area, interviewed the supervisor of the town, undersheriff in the case, different state troopers, DEC officers, the fire chief and his wife. And I say that because people might be like, well, why'd you interview the fire chief and his wife? Well, for one solid reason, because Brant Lakes Fire Station was the headquarters of the search and rescue for Tom Messick. So both of them were in the know of what was going on. So that is part one of this upload. Part two, after the live stream, I was heading to watch fireworks with my daughter. And I got a text from a phone number that I recognized, but I didn't recognize. I don't save, if I interview a subscriber, I don't save their phone number in my phone. I've had subscribers text me out of the blue after an interview, like months go by, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, I don't know who this is. And then I have to go to this book that I have with all their phone numbers and names listed and find it. But I recognize the number, and I'm like, and I put happy 4th of July. Sorry, don't recognize who this is. And it was Carl from Meeker, Colorado. Now, about a year and a couple months ago, there was a lot of cattle being killed in Meeker. And I did a couple videos on that. Carl had at one point seen a military kill team. I don't even know if they're military. Government kill team come in. He, his daughter, and his son were riding horses in the Rio Blanco Lake State Wildlife Area. And they heard some gunfire. It was, at first Carl was thinking, multiple, but not automatic, but like bursts. And it's illegal to hunt there. So he was going to, address, hey, you can't be hunting here. Carl's a rancher in Meeker also. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. And what he saw was, he was coming up through, going towards where he believed this gunfire was coming from. And it had stopped. His daughter is with him. His son is over to the side, kind of doing his own thing, but still going with them. And Carl and his daughter kind of show up, boom, face to face with what's going on. The guys are concealing what they had shot. Carl says, you can't be hunting here. And it's pretty much said, hey, we don't, why don't you leave? We work with the government. Get the hell out of here. Who are you to address us? And they have, high-powered rifles, 3-round burst and automatic. So not anything that you're going to mess with your kids. The son comes up off to the side because he was once again doing his own thing, not thinking, hey, I'm going to run into a government kill team here. And what he sees is the body until he is cut off visually. They leave and he tells his dad, what I saw, what they shot was not anything that I've ever seen in this area. It was not a wolf. It looked like a wolf, but it was huge. It was huge. It was this grayish black color, just this enormous, but it had a body like a man the way it was laying down. It was dead and it was splayed out like a man. So at that point, the cattle attack stopped. I mean, we are talking months of cattle attacks being in the papers, being online in the news. Of course, the government tells us that it's some strange disease, but it's actually, they said it's a disease, but these cattle are being torn apart savagely. Made no sense. It literally made no sense. The government thinks we are morons. Straight across, they think we are idiots. And I'm sure there is somebody that believes it. But how the hell do you believe something that makes no sense? Oh, it's this really strange disease, yet these cattle are being torn apart. Hocks ripped out, they're just... But there are people out there that will believe what the government tells them. Because why? It's the government. It's the media. They never lie to us. All of a sudden, he gets a phone call from another rancher friend of his who lives up in Jensen, or by the Jensen wildlife area, another wildlife area. And funny enough, that during this period of time of videos that I'm making, this troll said, I know Meeker good. There ain't no people that live out in Meeker. And Carl had read the comment, and he had commented back to the guy and said, how can you explain the town of Meeker of 2,600 people, you idiot? It never baffles. People, trolls, never stop baffling me. So he gets a call from another rancher, and he goes out and talks to him, and he said, I'm out in my back pasture, and I hear just this heavy automatic rifle fire. And, I go out the next day on my horse, and he's telling Carl this. He said, I go out on the next day on my horse, and the cordite was so strong, the smell of death, urine, shit, and just whatever, just the raunchiest smell, but the cordite smell was there as well. And he said it was cleaned up, but you could tell that this team came in and they did clean their rounds up, but they had missed a couple of chunks of fur, chunks of flesh. And that was sent to me. Carl sent it to me. Sent it to a P.O. box in Vermont. And I have a friend who's a veterinarian that lives up here. And myself, my friend, and another guy all drove up towards Lake Champlain, crossed over, and we met, and we opened the box, and we split it into four bags, 4 Ziploc bags. I said, let's get this tested. Let's get these follicles tested. There's obviously flesh. It's not just hair. There's hair follicle. There's some fucking blood. There's goo. And he said, all right, let's do it. And it was a couple $100, a little more than a couple $100. Nowhere near what I know some people have said, they tested some hair and we need $20,000 or whatever, but nowhere near that amount. And it's ridiculous that people bought that and fell for that. But needless to say, if you look it up, you can see that it's like somewhere between $600 and $750. So maybe a little more in different other places, but so we get it tested, and it comes back corcutta, which is a hyena, and also an unidentified species of primate. Unidentified. Human? I don't know. Monkey? I don't know. Unidentified. But the markers of it was... So one day I had sat down with Tigger, and I was looking at the hair, and it looks like porcupine quills. It looks like very fine porcupine quills. And I opened the bag and I let Tigger smell it because he wanted to see what it was in my hand. And he gagged. My cat gagged at the smell. It was the most god-awful stench I've ever smelled in my life. It was filthy. But, this is grayish, black, some minor tan, but it really resembles porcupine quills. I've shared this before. I'm going to see if the camera will pick it up very good. But, if you look at that, it resembles porcupine quills. Obviously, I cut the follicles off on this because I didn't want it to decay. We have... One guy has his baggie in a freezer. My friend who's a veterinarian, I don't know. I don't think he has anymore because he sent his all the way out there. And there's another bag buried in between my house and Vermont on a highway. I know right where it is, but Corcuta, and an unidentified primate. So, Jeff, what are you getting to? Well, Carl says, I need to talk to you. So I said, all right, I'm going to see fireworks with my daughter. Give me an hour. Give me an hour and a half. I'll call you right when I get home. And he said, all right, great. Thank you. He has a well-to-do friend who is in the cattle business, but is not a rancher. He owns a lot of land. He rents land to other ranchers for their cattle. But he's in like the feed game and such. He's got deep pockets and very beautiful home. And I'm not going to even remotely say where it is, but it is just outside of Meeker. And he owns a small lake on his property. So one day he is out just on his side-by-side with another guy, and they're checking their fence lines and stuff, because even though he rents the property to other ranchers and such, he's still responsible for the upkeep of his own property. It's not the other ranchers that, are doing it. So as they are heading kind of southeast from Meeker, he sees what looks like this tree in the distance, and he keeps driving towards it. His workers with him, who he's known for, a very long time, he's got his binoculars as he's looking. So Carl's friend's driving, the worker's looking with the binoculars, and he says, stop, stop, don't get any freaking closer. They're a couple football fields away. Now, what his worker sees is these two human-like dogmen standing in this field, staring directly at the side-by-side. And behind them is this kind of lump. The worker gives Carl's friend, associate, the binoculars, and he realizes that it's a cow. It's down. Huge. And these dogmen are staring out at Carl's associate and his worker. They drop down onto quadruped position. He's watching this. The worker is now got his rifle out. Obviously, they've got rifles and such when they're driving in these remote locations, because you don't know what you could run into a bear. And, they're not playing with 5.56 or 308. They've got a 45-70 government lever action. And I forget what else he said, but he says, holy shit, it's coming at us. And he gives him the binoculars, and Carl's associate kind of backs up, and the worker's watching it. And it's running toward them. Well, he said, stop. I'm going to take a shot. And he said, well, that's way too far. You're not going to hit it. And if you do, it's not going to do much. He said, but let me take it. Let's see if we can scare it. We got to go check on that cow. He takes his shot, and obviously it doesn't even come close to hitting it, but it was enough to scare the two dogmen to run towards Sawmill Mountain. And they drive out there, and they look at the cow, and it's gutted. But there's marks of the attack, but there's not much consumption at all. And judging on the shape that the body is in, it hadn't been dead for, it's been not an hour or two. We're talking half a day. And there's no bugs. There's no maggots. There's nothing on it. Nothing had fed on it except these two things, very, very remotely, very limited. But the thing that got him is, why the hell ain't there any maggots on this goddamn thing? So he ends up getting in touch with Carl, because Carl's friend, the one that lives by Jensen, had told him, this is what's going on. And Meeker's pretty wealthy area. They got a small airport. So when that kill team was there was evidence of a government kill team being there at this airport. And so the town knew, actually Carl's son could see proof of it from his high school. So he, knowing that Carl knew, said, come out here and look at this cow. I'm responsible for financially responsible. I got to pay another rancher for this head that was killed on my property. But check this shit out. We got to keep a lid on this. And sure enough, he went out, and it was identical to what the attacks a year and 3-4 months ago were. Carl said, I will not be surprised within the next 2 months, maybe 3, that the news agencies will be talking about Meeker, Colorado, and a large influx of wolves being spotted in wolf attacks. But damn well it's not a wolf, Jeff. And I absolutely. So Carl's going to keep an eye on what's going on, talk to other ranchers and such. But he hasn't heard anything. Nothing's attacked his cattle, his buddy's cattle over by Jensen Wildlife, or some other ranchers. But where this other guy is, he has so much property that, it extends to another county that is northwest of Meeker. So he's pretty rich. But Carl's and I said, the way you're describing everything to me, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next month or two we do hear about that. And I guarantee when we do, what we're going to hear is wolves came down from here, and there's honestly a total of 5 or 6 wolves in Colorado. They're tracked, regulated, and they're hundreds of miles away from Meeker. Not even remotely close, just like a year and a couple months back when the media was blaming wolves. This small pack of wolves were a couple hundred miles away. So pretty interesting stuff going on in Meeker. I looked in the news to see if there was any mention of any wolves in Meeker as of yet, and there isn't. But if it persists and there is 1, 2, 3 more cattle killed, the news agency, the local news agency that's in Meeker will handle it, and I'm sure that team will be back. So, and with that, my friends, that is today's upload. I hope that you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. The Tom Messick case, I am not going to give up on ever. There's got to be something that if he was taken through a portal, or if whatever happened, something had to have dropped. Something. I don't know how. In this 5 square mile radius that was marked, each piece in orange, each piece of orange was touched by a human. Each part, every inch of that part was touched by a human. Multiple. And one other thing. They did use correctional officers from like Raybrook, from Denimora area, and they bust them down to be part of this search and rescue. But there was no prisoner escape. Maybe the person that said there was misunderstood. But, you know, here's my thing with that. Don't take everything at face value. You know, you hear 2 different versions of something. Look it up yourself. Don't say, well, this guy's got, 64,000. This guy's got, 10,000. This guy's got 700,000. I'm going to believe the guy with 700,000 because he won't lie. He's got 700,000 subscribers. Look into things. It's not that hard. It's as simple as clicking on the Google icon and typing in. It's just like YouTube, Anyway, with that, thank you for supporting the channel. It is your support, after all, that keeps this channel growing and going. And honestly, what gives people a chance and a place to share their experiences and theories judgment-free, simply treated with the respect that we all deserve. Thank you. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant. These creatures and scenarios, these events are freaking real. They happen. They are dangerous. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless.